Hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. The tea today is London Breakfast from Tea Runners. Not a paid promo, just like their teas. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are new to the channel, hi new subscribers. I don't do paid promos. I'm not a professional content creator, as you can tell, because this is a very unprofessional kind of setup here. But no, I don't do paid promos. I don't get free stuff from publishers. So I've been away for a couple of weeks, actually away, not that long, but I took a break from filming for a couple of weeks because I had been making a couple of videos a week while I was doing the top 50, and it just felt like too much. I felt like I needed a little bit of a breather. So yeah, took a little bit of a break, and we did actually do a bit of a getaway, a 4-day midweek go rent a cottage and go off somewhere thing. So, I'm going to be talking today about taking games to a long weekend getaway. Here in America, we've got Thanksgiving coming up next week, and some of you may be looking at your game shelf thinking about what you're going to take to spring on the family. But first, I want to go over, because, I took a 2-week break from filming stuff. But I didn't take a 2-week break from playing games, obviously. So here's what we played. And I don't have a ginormous stack of games here. We'll get back to that whole ginormous stack of games in another week or so, like after Thanksgiving. But I'm still kind of in that sort of laid back, well, as much as I can be, because I'm playing catch up after being away for a little while. But yeah, I'm still in kind of a laid back frame of mind, so I didn't pull a ton of stuff off my shelves here. So we're just going to run down a list. Okay, we got in 1 play of Cado, 2 plays of Doomlings, which I have sleeved now because they're getting enough handling. I feel like I should sleeve them. 1 play of Azul, 1 play of Carcassonne, 2 plays of Cartographers Heroes, 1 of Capybaras, and we pulled Zapotec out again. We've started playing Zapotec on weekends again because I kind of missed it. So we got in a play of Zapotec. Another play of Creature Caravan, which that game is just so enjoyable. I went all in on machines this time. I've never done the machine strategy, but my starting hand had enough machines in it. I thought maybe I could make this work. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. We got in 2 plays of Forbidden Island, which was fun, and we won. But man, our Forbidden Island skills were very rusty because we haven't played that in years. And we played, got in 2 plays of a new game, which it's a button shy game, which I got and just hadn't played yet, and that's Seasons of Rice, which we both liked a lot. Where is it? Yes, Seasons of Rice. You are matching up these things and scoring for what's in your little rice patty pin things there. I also have the Jasmine and Ginger expansion, which we're sort of so-so on, but we like the base game a lot. Jasmine and Ginger Festival expansion, I could kind of take it or leave it. I like it okay, but yeah, it's not really super necessary. But we both like this a lot. You will need 4 coins to mark stuff on your, to keep score on your cards. And we always have like a few pennies laying around at the end of the table there because we play games and stuff. And sometimes we just need a marker. Oh yeah, and since I mentioned Forbidden Island, let me pull this out here. This is the first of the Forbidden series and arguably the easiest. It seems to me that they increase in difficulty. It's Island, Desert, Sky, which we did not like at all, and Forbidden Jungle, which is really tough, and we had a lot of problems with it. We've been playing like the past year or so, we've played Forbidden Jungle a lot because we really had to work for wins on that. And so we were playing it. We basically just kept at it until we won. So we hadn't been hitting Forbidden Island, not in a while. This is, I would say, an entry-level co-op game. If you want to introduce somebody to co-op games, this would be a good one to do. Our two plays, we played two different characters. Each character card has a special ability. The first time we played, it was Robert was the pilot, I was the explorer, and the second time we played, I was the messenger and he was the engineer. And we won both times, but boy, that second time, it got very, 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 very ugly. Like almost the whole island was sunk, and we were just sitting on Fool's Landing, waiting to try to go through our turn to get the helicopter card, the final helicopter card we needed to get us off the island. But everything around us was like sunken or well, we had two tiles that connected to Fool's Landing that because of our abilities we were able to keep afloat, but still the rest of the island we just let it go. But we had a lot of fun with that, and it has kind of stayed, it's here because I didn't even have to get it out. It kind of stayed on the dining room table because we had so much fun with it, and also because we're kind of looking at each other going like, wow, I remember this being easier. So yeah, we need to kind of brush up our skills a little bit so maybe we can win in a more graceful manner. So yes, and besides those, oh yes, I mentioned we played Cartographers Heroes twice. One of those plays, I can't get a hold of it here. One of those plays was while we were on our little 4-day getaway, because I was looking for a small box game to take. Also, I took my purple quiver case, which is the smaller of the quiver case. I think it's called a bolt. The lid is coming off because I've just got way too much stuff stuffed in here because I'm trying to consolidate stuff in here. Cartographers is a flip and write game. Heroes is one of the versions of Cartographers. There's regular Cartographers and Cartographers Heroes, and we kind of combine them because you can do that. This is a nice small box. I took it with us for the 4 days. I also took the smaller of the quiver cases, the Bolt, with 2 card games, Doomlings, and because it's just a nice game. We have a lot of fun with it. It's just kind of a casual card game. And also Sea Salt and Paper. And I stuck some button shy games into the mesh lining on the inside of the quiver case for that. But the only thing we actually played was this, because one of the things you kind of got to keep in mind when you're deciding what games to take for, say, a weekend getaway or Thanksgiving with the family or just some kind of little thing, is you got to take into consideration, where are you going to play this? Because I looked at the pictures online before I booked the little cottage, and the table looks small. As it turned out, the table was bigger than I thought it would be. It was 36 by 36, 3 foot by 3 foot. So that was not too bad. Cartographers fit on it comfortably. I could have probably brought something bigger, but I didn't want to pack a whole big heavy thing. You want to pack light if you're just going to be gone for a few days. So I kind of recommend a couple of card games, a few button shy games if you're into button shy, and maybe one small box game, because you're not going to be there for very long. And unless this weekend is especially for playing games, a game weekend getaway, which ours was not, you're probably not going to play all of those. I mean, we took the dogs with us. We spent a lot of time walking in the woods and walking the dogs and reading. I averaged almost a book a day. So yeah, and also a few e-magazines that I browsed through. So yeah, it was just the whole idea was just to step out of our lives for a little while, relax, get a change of scenery, and that's what we did. I had intended to play more games, and Robert did too, but the table wasn't the problem so much as the chairs. The chairs were iron chairs, and they had this crosswork on the back that had like an iron knot in the middle. And so consequently, I'd scoot the chair up to the table and lean back, and that knot would go right into my spine. So yeah, I had to kind of remember to sit up straight at the table and lean over the table. Do not lean back, because if I lean back, it will hurt. So yeah, I was kind of going, oh yeah, back up. Oh yeah, back up. It's like, sit up straight, do this, write this. And then I go, oh, and then I go, yeah. So we just, after we played one game of this, we just kind of decided that perhaps not. We tried to put a pillow like from the sofa there on the back of the chair, because it had like an X across it, and because it was so big, when I leaned back, the pillow just popped right out the back in the open space. So I'm going like, wow, that didn't work well. But yeah, when you take a game, at least give some thought to where you're going to play it. And that is a consideration if you're eyeing what you're going to take for Thanksgiving, besides like pie and side dishes and stuff. Are you going to be in the kitchen helping with the cooking? Is there going to be a TV blaring with football games? Are there going to be snacks that are on that table when you get there, so you're not going to be able to play the game because people are bringing food in, people are arriving, and they're putting the food onto the table as they arrive? So that's something to think of. If you're thinking about playing games after you've stuffed yourself with Thanksgiving food and all, then you got to also think about everybody's going to be kind of tired and sleepy, and sort of it's just like this very low-key kind of thing. After everybody eats, we all just kind of sit around and have pie. So yeah, you got to kind of think about how the rhythm of the day is going to go. And that's true for any like little event that you decide to bring games for. Think about what the table space is, what the area is going to be, who's going to be there, and what they might like to play, or what they might be capable of playing if they're not familiar with modern board games. So yeah, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Of course, if you're just doing like a little 2-person weekend getaway, you can bring whatever you want. The only thing you need to keep in mind is where you're going to play it. Try to get a look at the table, and also try to get a look at the chairs as well. So yeah, that was a thing. I like taking card games. I've got 2 quiver cases. Card games are sort of my go-to for a grab and go. Just card games that don't have anything extra like tokens or stuff, though a lot of cases can accommodate some small stuff. Just need room for the cards and the rule book for people who don't know the game yet. They might want to consult it. So I really lean heavily toward an assortment of card games that can play an assortment of different player counts, because you just don't know who's going to buy in to playing a game. And also, again, table space is a thing. You may not have access to like a full big dining room table, because people will be doing other things on that table, or at least kind of keep that in mind if you are going to be packing up games for Thanksgiving. I really do like card games. As far as small box games go, we took Cartographers Heroes and some Button Shy and card games in the quiver case, but I thought about taking Village Rails, because that is a really small box. That box is actually slightly smaller than this one, and it does not take up a whole lot of table space, though you do have a line of cards that are laid out. I think Village Rails could have fit on that 3-foot by 3-foot table. So that was a possibility. I did think about that. But yes, you do need to think about not only small boxes, but also how spread out it is. I've got a couple of small box games that once you put them on the table, it's going to take up the whole table. So don't just grab the small box. Stop and think about what's in the box and where it's going to go when you open that box. Besides our little 4-day weekend, well, it was not a weekend, it was a midweek, because I couldn't get the booking for a 4-day weekend, but so it ended up being midweek. Besides our 4-day midweek getaway, in which we only played one game, there has been some other nifty board game stuff going on here. I ordered some promo cards. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and start with the Cartographers cards. I ordered the Skills mini expansion. There are 2 mini expansions. There's Skills 1 and then there's Skills 2. And these mini expansions you will roll into, these are extra cards. They don't go into any of the existing decks. You lay them out there and they do the thing. They have special rules for them. And I think that just kind of might be an interesting little variation. I sort of suspect we're not going to play with Skills all the time. I also ordered another set of ambush cards. And you're going like, do you really need more monsters? I kind of do. I'm sorry, not monsters, non-human interventionists, as Robert calls them. I kind of do. Here's my thinking on getting more ambush cards. The ambush cards that came with Heroes were a bit more complicated and really stuck it to you much worse than the cards that just came with the regular Cartographers. Because the regular Cartographers, the ambush cards just have like a shape you draw in there. One of your opponent's draws in there. It's just a basic shape with no extra stuff. So the ambush cards I ordered are also just basic. They just got shapes and monsters on them. So that's it. No extra stuff like with Heroes. So my way of thinking is I now have more kind of basic monster cards in the mix. So that sort of dilutes the pool of ambush cards that we draw and makes it less likely that we will draw the truly nasty ambush cards. Although, I mean, if you're in a particular spot, any ambush card has the potential of being nasty. So I got 4 more ambush cards. There are 2 mini expansions that are extra ambush cards. And I got one of them. There is a second one, but I don't have that yet. Notice I said yet because, again, if it's basic monsters, non-human interventionists, then, again, it dilutes the pool and makes it less likely that we will pull some of the ones we really don't like. I also got, because this is a game that we've been playing lately because we only just now got it, Cado, which is justifiably considered a modern classic. Not classic, it's not that old, but it's been around a while. And there are many different variations on it. This is the base game. And the cards that you are placing your dice on, the pool of cards in here, the pool of cards in here are not that big. Though you have a lot of variation in your choices because some of them are easier and some of them are harder, and the little dots on the bottom show you. But I got a couple of Game Boy Geek promo cards. This one is a level 3 on this side and a level 6 on this side. So, and I got another one, and this one is level 4, which is next to the easiest, on both sides. And I mean, this is in some ways, it epitomizes the kind of expansion that I like. There are things I like about this game, and I just want more of the things that I like. This gives us more options, more cards to choose from. They'll be shuffled in, and we will select maybe these cards, maybe not, and then we get to choose which side we want to play. But it just gives us a few more options, and I like options. And let me see. Oh, yeah, the other thing that I got, put this over here. The other thing that I got is I got the double layer player boards. The Board Game Geek Store, they've been out of stock for a long time, and they just got them back in stock. And I got them, and they are beautiful. Heavy duty, nice double layer. They've got extra spaces here for like 10, 20, 30, 40. But yeah, these are so nice. I got the set, and for comparison, and the double layer player boards they won't fit with the player board and the folded space expansion that I've got here in my Terraforming Mars box. But I just set this over here. Yes, it's awkward. That's the way I do videos. Yeah, I wanted to show you this is what the regular player boards for these things look like. They are very, very lightweight, not super lightweight, but fairly lightweight. They are less attractive in terms of colors and all. And when you put the little resource cubes on these numbers, man, they just skid all over the place. There's no real telling what resources you have there. But I mentioned that the regular game board no longer fits into that box now that I've added the double layer player boards, which is kind of what I figured. Because I had always thought one of these days I'm going to get either an overlay or the double layer boards, and I really wanted the double layer boards. So when I got the whole upgrade with extra maps thing, when I got the extra maps pack in the recent Kickstarter, I got this map box. And this box just holds all of the new maps. And it also, as you can see, easily holds the regular game board in addition to all the new maps. And I don't know if you can tell here, but it looks to me like there could be room for more on top. But yeah, so I've got a place for everything. I think I am now utterly and completely done upgrading and changing up Terraforming Mars, unless I get metal resource cubes. But you see, with the metal resource cubes, now I've got the double layer maps. I'm wondering, the resource cubes, the various ones that I see, are they going to fit into the nifty little slots here? Because these slots are very neatly defined here. So, I mean, it wouldn't do me any good to upgrade to metal cubes if they were just a teeny tiny bit too big. So, I need to research the whole cube thing again. I may just stick with the cubes that came with the game. And then I really will be done with upgrading Terraforming Mars. I don't have all of the expansions for this. I don't want all of the expansions for this. Basically, I got the stuff that I thought I would like. And some of the stuff I like more than other stuff. So, yeah, I mostly play this digitally, but I've just spent a lot of time getting the physical version, optimizing the physical version, getting all the nifty stuff for it, so that we can play it on the table with friends. And I do know someone who wants to learn the game. We just haven't been able to coordinate a big block of time to do a teach and a playthrough or even partial playthrough of it. But that is still out there on the horizon as a thing that could happen. And that's what's been going on here. It's been a nice little 2-week break. I think it would have been a less nice 2-week break from making videos and chatting with y'all if we hadn't actually gone somewhere and done some stuff. That was just what made it super pleasant. So I'm probably going to be back to just making videos on a weekly basis again. I am very active on Blue Sky, which I joined early this past year, I think back in the spring sometime, and it's gotten a whole bunch more subscribers. I have a board game starter pack, which I also have a link to in my YouTube profile thing, so that you can join Blue Sky and find a bunch of board game people to follow right off the bat. You can either just follow everyone on the starter pack or just pick and choose. I've also got a starter pack of non-board game recs, more general recommendations, which you can find on my profile on Blue Sky. And I am in the starter pack. That's kind of like whoever makes a starter pack, they're in it by default, because they're assuming you're making starter packs for whoever your community is. And there are a lot of starter packs. There's even a directory of different starter packs because there are a lot of different communities. There are photographers and naturalists and humor accounts and news accounts and board game accounts and video game accounts and dog accounts, lots and lots of dog accounts. I actually made a list of dog accounts on my profile, and you can put that onto your feed too. The thing about lists versus feeds is feeds, actual real feeds, are curated, so that you don't see every post that poster makes, just the ones that have special emojis, like they join that feed, they're approved by the moderator, they put the emoji in the post, and that post goes into the feed. Emoji or sometimes just hashtags. But still, feeds tend to be curated. With list, if you put people in list and you pin that list to your home thing, you'll see all of their stuff. It's basically like a following feed for people you're not following. So there's a lot of nifty stuff on Blue Sky, and more board gamers are joining all the time. It is super, super active now and a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I hope you will join me there. Say hi if you are on Blue Sky. And I will see you all next time around the table. Bye.